Hello, hello, welcome to Mindset to Results. And our guest today is Brian Livingston. And we will speak about scaling business. Hi Brad.
Hey, how are you today, ma'am?
Great, great. And I'm excited about this episode. Last time when we spoke, you mentioned that you scaled your business to 160% in 1 year. So let's speak about this, how to scale business. And another thing, what you mentioned is that the reason why it happened, it was because you believed that you could.
Exactly. And I'm going to take it back just in case we do have some new listeners. Um, there was a gentleman whose name is Lewis Curtis that I heard about, who had built a business from scratch to $5.5 million in 90 days. And so I started doing some research to find out how this guy did this. And he did it in a city where he knew no one. He started with $100, a cell phone with no contacts in it, and a beat up truck. He got dropped in a city where he knew no one. And the city only had 200,000 people in it. So it wasn't a massive city. Okay. And this guy went and did this. So I had to figure out, how do I find out more about Lewis Curtis? Well, it turned out that it was Grant Cardone, and Lewis Curtis is his alter ego that he had to create for Undercover Billionaire. So these episodes are all recorded in exactly what Grant did. Okay. And so I looked at that and I said, okay, if this guy can do this from scratch, knowing no one in 90 days, this is somebody I've got to learn from. And so once I dug a little bit deeper into Grant's material, and just so everybody understands, I am now a coach, a 10x certified coach. So I definitely jumped into the deep end with Grant. But Grant's whole thing, first of all, is getting your mindset right. Okay. And so when I saw that somebody can build this massive, in my mind, a massive business in 90 days, I just thought, well, if he did it and proved it can be done, why can't I do it too? He knew nobody, and I was not starting from scratch with my business. I had contacts. There was so much that I could do with this, but the first step was just getting our mind right that we can achieve these goals that we set out for ourselves.
Right, right. Let's speak more about this. That all, as you said now, that the first step is to set that big goal, because most of people, they are not there to set really big goal that will scare them from one side and inspire from another side. They are conditioned to think like just what they can do logically, right, based on what they did before. And if they just continue thinking the way as we did and thinking what is logically, we will not create those quantum leaps as you did. So let's speak a little bit more about this, like seeing that big picture. As Napoleon Hill in his book, which he named Think and Grow Rich, said that you can achieve everything what you can hold in your mind, you can hold in your head.
No, and you're completely right about that, and that's such a marvelous book by Napoleon Hill. Um, and one of the biggest things behind that is there's a hidden message, and for me, I believe that hidden message is that you have got to decide what I refer to, and lots of people refer to as your BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. You have to set that goal down, that what you want to achieve, and then you've got to dedicate everything that you have and focus your mind and believing that that is where you are. You've got to start acting like that's where you are. It doesn't mean you start going out and buying Maseratis, but you've got to have the mindset of what it's like to be successful at that level. Okay. And then when we look at what Grant says you've got to 10x your effort. He has the 10x rule. Okay. So whatever effort you think you've got to put in to achieve these BHAGs, you have to multiply that effort by 10. Okay. Because no matter how much you're putting in, you can always put in more, but you have to begin with the end in mind, which is also Stephen R. Covey's Seven Habits. Um, all of them focus on this. That's what is your goal, and it can't be I want to make $1,000 a month. That's something that doesn't drive you. So you need a goal that's going to drive you to achieve, but it's got to be way out there.
Yes, let's speak more about this because I just had a conversation with one my friend recently, and he was thinking about the niche, like what to do. He likes to do marketing and everything that is related with AI, and he hired a coach recently which offered him to do something that he did before, like marketing for insurance, which he didn't like. But his coach said that because you had experience in that, it will be easy for you to, like, you will be more confident and it will easy for you to start generate income. So when I heard this from him, I said that speak to your coach and tell him that what you really want. If you quitted the job in insurance because you didn't like it, it will not work for you. You will not be excited, but you should, you already invested with your coach, so you tell your coach what you really want to do, because it is like the spectacles. Yes, like if the doctor gave you subscription and this is spectacles for you, you can see in them. If you give the spectacles for somebody else, they can not see it. So if you really feel what you really want, it is only you who can see it. And actually, the coach, why we need coach, like the first purpose or task, I would say, in working with the coach, it should to help you to find what you really want, and to help you to do what excites you, right? Because when you already working with the coach, why to create system that you don't like and spend your time, spend your efforts, even if you start making money, but it is not something that excites you, it means that then you have to do again the same from the scratch. So why not just to tell your coach what you want and ask him to help you to create the process and systems that you will really know that yes, this is my big goal, this is what I want to do, and this is the system which I got help because I didn't know how to make all these processes.
I completely agree. And this is the importance of making sure that if you're going to be hiring a coach, that you've got to make sure that you're aligned and that the coach understands your goals, because your coach is there to help you to achieve your goals, not to temper them or to change them. Yes, he may be able to find it easier to make money if he goes that route, because the coach is correct in saying it's an area he's familiar with. But you're completely right. If that doesn't excite you, there's a reason why he's getting out of that industry. You don't want to go back to that industry that you're trying to escape from. Maybe you could do that down the road once you've had that emotional separation again, kind of as a side revenue stream. But you've got to pick what's going to excite you. But I do have to caution people, you've got to make sure that you can come up with a viable plan working backwards, that what excites you is going to be able to get you to the goals that you have, the targets that you've set out for yourself. I remember hearing from one person that they wanted, that what they really loved, their passion was taking old Smurfs. You know what I'm talking about, the cartoons, the Les Schtroumpfs. in French, the little blue guys, and she liked to hand paint these old they and restore them. And so I asked her because she was doing this in painstaking detail, and I said, "How long does it take you to do that?" And she said, "Oh, it takes me about 10 hours." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "And how much do you bill for that?" She goes, "Well, I charge $50." And I said, "Okay, so you're making $5 an hour painting Smurfs." And she didn't like that realization because there's no way at $5 an hour, unless you're going to hire 100,000 people who are going to work for you for four so that you can capture that extra dollar, there's no way that you're going to get to your goal at $5 an hour. Okay. So we have to have a mechanism that's going to get us to those goals. Now, AI marketing, that's the hottest topic out there. Okay. Right now. And if he is good at it, all he's got to do is he's got to figure out how he's going to separate himself from the pile. Okay. John Maxwell talks about this. And he says, there's this big pile of people who are all, in this example, talking about AI, right? Everybody is. So, what do you have that's special that's going to pull you up above that pile that makes you unique and one of a kind so that your marketing resonates beyond what everybody else is offering? But don't don't let your coach sway you from your goals. They're there to help you achieve them. Okay. If anything, they should challenge you to make them bigger, but don't let them pull you off track.
Exactly, exactly. And here I would like us to speak about the place where we make decision. It is so important how we make decision and how we choose what we want to do. The decisions never have to come from the place of neediness, like we need something, or we afraid of not having money if we don't do that, or not making decision, or we have some doubts. It is not right place to make decision. We always have to make decision from the place of our higher self, to see ourselves where we want to be, from the place of our big goals, from the place where we see ourselves, and this is what excites us, because we understand that yes, this is what I really can do. Not logically, you may not know how to get there, this we will speak later, but at this stage we have to come from the assumption that it is possible. The first, because it is done by other people, right? And the second is that every one of us has such a huge potential which we're not even aware about. And the first step is to set that big goal which will excite you and which will scare you at the same time. And how to do it, you will find in the process. This is how all the big goals have been achieved. You can never know the process. As Richard Branson said, if you have opportunity and you don't know how, jump on it and find it out in the process. Or Steve Jobs also said that you can never connect the dots. You can, when you are in the beginning, you can only connect the dots when you look back. So this is the mindset of successful people. So that's why it is so important to set your goal from the place of your highest dreams, of something that you really love to do and you believe that this you can do.
Oh, completely, right? And what there's two things that I really think you need to be cautious of. The first is self-doubt, okay? Because if you doubt yourself, your clients are going to be, or your potential clients are going to feel that self-doubt as well. And if you can't sell yourself first on your goal, there is no way that you can sell your clients who are then going to help you to get that goal. Okay, so first of all, you have to know that you can get there. It's not necessarily you know how just at this moment, but just the fact that you are going to get there and you're not going to give up until you do. Okay. And second of all, you've got to just instill that confidence, right? That you just believe in yourself so much. It's a quiet confidence. It's not an arrogance. You don't have to tell everyone how you're going to make it, because I think some of those people are the greatest self doubters ever. Okay, with this false bravado, but just confidence in that you are going to deliver what you're offering to your clients because you know you will. And be careful of the the family friends, the friends, those type of people who want to pull you back. Okay, they're more dangerous than your haters. Okay, because they're going to tell you that, you know, you've tried this before, and you failed when you were 15 and tried to set up a newspaper route, or whatever it is. They feel that they're looking out for your best interest. Okay, when in reality that's dragging you back. Okay, so you have to have the ability to cut that off when necessary. And if you have those people in your life who are these helpful friends, you need to kind of push them aside for a bit, you know, and don't talk about your business with them, because all they're going to do is bring that self-doubt back in. Surround yourself in groups where people are being successful. That's how you and I met, Elena, is through a group of like-minded people who are all now knocking it out of the park. And we're helpful with each other. We want to see other people succeed. So find those groups of people who are going to lift you up and aren't going to try and keep you down from accomplishing those great goals that you set for yourself.
Yes, right, exactly. And if you don't know how to find that group, you are welcome to join ours. We will set you can connect with us, with Brian, with me, and we are very happy to meet you in our group. Yeah, so let's go back again to the goal. Yeah, so we spoke today that it should come from the place of excitement. This is the key, guys, who are listening to us now. Just it is the key. If you go for something different, you will lose your money, you will lose your time, you will not achieve your goal. Because the goal, if it is big, it should be something that really excites you. Otherwise, it is just average things. Each, if you don't set a big goal which excites you, you will go sideways. You will go sideways, and you will quit in if you just face any challenges, because you will not have that energy, you will not have that excitement in you to help you overcome challenges. And if we really want to achieve something different in our life which we didn't before, we have to overcome challenges. It is just a way. It is just a way. You cannot just do the same things and sit in your comfort zone expecting that somehow your results will triple or multiply many times just doing what you used to do. You have to be ready to do new things and to make uncomfortable things just feel comfortable, because you know why you do this. And this is just possible when you have that big goal which you really see yourself there, that you really love what you do. And another thing that I would like to mention here, let's speak about this, about attitude, about money, that you don't focus on money, you don't focus on uh, being in need of money, because it is, again, it is the wrong place to make decision. If you need money, if you think that if you don't receive that amount you will not have money to pay bills or whatever, it is wrong place to make decision. You should make decision understanding that you should focus on the value which you provide to people. So you should focus on value, how you can solve other people's problems that they will ready and happy to pay you that amount because you help them. So you focus on yourself to become that valuable person. And money which come to you, it will be the result. It will be the result of the value which you give in the market. It is just the exchange. It is just a symbol of the value exchange. It is just energy. So there are three things which show how you get money to your pocket, to your account. The first thing is to find what you really love to do. Find what you have talents and gifts. What is your genius is? Where is your strength? And find that what is in demand aligned with that. What you can do that is in demand in the market and that you love to do. The second thing is become good in that. Learn. Like when you identify the first, then find the coach, find the mentor that will help you to be good in that. And the third one is become the person that is difficult to replace. When you do these three steps, you can never worry about money because money will be just coming to you because you did these three things and you created the value.
Oh, I completely agree. And there's several things to unpack there. First of all, you made a comment in regards to being uncomfortable. If you're doing something that is needed for your business and it's making you feel uncomfortable, that's a good place to be actually, because that means that you're stepping outside of that little box of comfort that you've kept yourself in. So being uncomfortable is great, because you're moving towards that goal. You made so many multiple great points, and you want to become that person that is trusted. Okay, you want to find, what problems are there out there. For example, your friend in the AI space, right? Well, what problem is he or she solving? Okay, because there's got to be a need, as you said, and if you can solve that need, then you can set your price. Okay, people will pay for you to solve their problems. Okay, so at that point you get to set your price. you know People who come to me that goes, I know you've got this problem, I can solve that problem for you. I'm like, great, let's get going. That's for what immediately goes into my mind. You're going to solve my problem. Awesome, let's go. Okay. Then you can talk about the finances later. But once you've got that person, and it's a bad term, hooked, but sold on the fact that you can deliver this service for them, you, they will start coming to you for things that you don't even do because you become so trusted. I have so many clients who reach out to me and go, hey Brian, I know this isn't necessarily your field of expertise, but do you know anyone who does this? And because my clients are happy with the service that I've provided, I become this trusted advisor to them. So it goes beyond, and they start looking at you as going, man, what else can this guy do for me? And in that way, you're never going to lose that client. And you've always got to stay top of mind in your ex clients as well. Okay. If you're no longer working with them because maybe it was a one off contract. Well, there's one worse thing than being not known about in your industry. It's being once known about and forgotten about. Okay. So, but if you create the value, you solve the problem, then you can write your ticket and you don't need, obviously charge the rate that you're going to charge, but that problem you're solving is going to set the you on you the financial goals that you're putting out there for yourself as well.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So much value in this. Yeah, I enjoy our conversation so much. And also, what you mentioned, never give up. So, once we identified the goal that inspires us, that really big, much bigger than we just even know what is possible, right? This is exactly how it should be. Then we should never give up, and we should never accept anything that is less than that. For example, in this case with my friend, if you really know what you love to do and somebody else tell you, oh, do that like it is easier. No. Why you want to go easier way if it is not aligned with what you really love to do? It will just be spending of money and time and energy, and you will not get fulfilled. You will not be satisfied. Again, it will be another failure. So learn the lesson from this episode, because I really appreciate, Brian, that we speak about this, because it is such a powerful lesson. And this, if you learn this lesson, it can save you so much money and time and energy and years of life, because you go just the wrong direction, then you have to start again everything from scratch. And all people will know you as in one niche and expert, and you don't like that, so again you have to start everything from scratch and come to the market with expert in another niche. So why not just to do it in the beginning and identify what you really want, speak that with the coach to get you there. This is why the coach is there, right? Why people hire the coach, just to help them first identify that goal and get them there, right? And it would be good coach if he does that, right? Because this is the purpose, to hire somebody to show you the way where you want to be. And never give up, never say yes to anything that is less than what you expect. It is like finding life partner, right? You should know exactly who you want, what person you want to live with, right? Like qualities which you want. And if you don't find it, does it mean that you should just accept everybody and then divorce in 2 months? Not, of course, right? You should have your standards and know exactly who you are, what are your standards, and what you really want to do in your life to build your legacy and impact.
100%, absolutely 100%. And people have got to understand, once you're started down your path, it takes more effort to quit and restart, okay, than it does to keep going down the path that you're on. Because if you quit, you're going to have to go do something else anyways. And then you're going to go through a bunch of the phases that you've already been through and what you're currently doing. So it's actually going to take you more time to do that. And I recommend bringing in problem solvers, bringing in a coach or a mentor, okay? But interview your coach or mentor. Remember, they're there to help you, okay? They need to convince you that they can solve your problem. Okay. And so don't be afraid to interview a coach. And if you don't see that fit, say no, thank you. Okay. Any reputable coach out there should be able to have a free strategy session. Okay. I always offer that with my potential people. And no, not everybody goes with me. Okay. And that's fine. Your coach, that potential coach, should also be willing to say, you know what, I'm not the right coach for you, but I know this person is. And they should be more than willing to get you set up. That's when you know you've really found the true value of a coach. Because right now, there's this trend in this industry that everybody now is a coach. Okay. It's just, since I started becoming a business coach, it is unbelievable. Everybody's crawling out of the woodwork and they're coaches now. Okay. Well, check out their background, talk to them, interview them, ask them hard questions. Okay. who have you already helped? What type of results have you given? Okay. For myself personally, I was the litmus test for my own coaching. Okay. I took Grant's material and I applied it to my own business to see whether or not it was going to work first. And then when it took off and Grant offered me the opportunity to come in and be a coach with him, I knew that it worked because I was already my own example of what you can do with it. And I'm still continuing to do with it. It's crazy when you talk about the money side of things. And I just started think I just it made me think, Elena, quite honestly, while we're right now, what I used to have for a goal for a month, I've had weeks now where I've beaten that monthly goal by 50%. Okay. What used to take me a month, I'm doing in under a week. Okay. And I just thought about that. I looked at the money and I went, oh crap. I actually am, but I hadn't looked at the money. I'm still moving towards those goals, right? And I would rather have, let's say, for example, I want to have 1,000 new clients. Well, I would rather say I want to have 10,000 new clients, reverse engineer the process to find those, how I'm going to do all that, break it down into a day by day, what I've got to do to get that done. And all of a sudden, you know, oh, let's say I don't achieve my goal. Well, I put in enough effort to get 10,000 clients. I'm going to blow past 1,000 because I used to be putting in the effort that was required to get 1,000, right? And so set those goals high. Like you said, you don't have to focus on the money. Focus on solving the problem. Interview your coach, please. Okay? Find a fit. Okay? Remember, we work for you. Okay? It's not the other way around. Okay? And I apologize if I got off topic there, Elena, but you know, I just I it's just incredible what you can do when you set your mind to it, and you don't waver in your focus towards that end goal.
Yes, yes, because maybe some coaches just you did something in that field and this is what they do help people, right? But if you want to change that field, it can be maybe different coach, right? Because that one just wants to do what he knows, and maybe he just doesn't want to refer you to another person which can do for you what he doesn't know, right? So it is important to question, yeah. And I would say that feelings, right? Like listen your intuition. This is so important because the mentor, he should come from your higher self and empower you. Like the role of the mentor is to see the bigger picture that you cannot see, but the mentor can see. But if you have bigger picture which is with AI, and mentor tell you to go back from what you didn't like, how how he will inspire you to do anything better? It is just doesn't fit. So intuition always speaks, right? Because intuition is our high mental faculty, and it is given us from uh, above. Yeah, it is intuition connected to our high self, for our future, which already exists, because we exist already in different shapes, right? Like different unlimited number of our versions in future, and depending on the decisions which we make tomorrow, we will be different versions of ourselves. So you should know exactly who you want to be, and your mentor and coach, he has to see that picture for you even bigger than you can see yourself, and only in that case he can make your roadmap to get there, right? And he has to be there as well, right? He has to have experience to get people where you want to be, and in this case it will be a good coach or mentor for you.
Yeah, and for example, if you wanted to talk to me about AI, you are going to be 100% over my head. Okay. It doesn't necessarily mean that I can't help you from the business side and achieving your goals. So that's one of the things. Your mentor doesn't necessarily need to even understand the nitty gritty of your niche. Okay. But they do need to see your vision. All right. And one of the greatest questions that a coach can ask when you're having a session is, what are you wanting to get out of this session today? Okay. Because you are going to be like, well, here's where I'm having problems, here where I need to go. And the mentor needs to help you figure out how you're going to get over or around or through those obstacles. But I look at mentorship kind of as if you're bowling, and I don't know if this happens where you are, Elena, but bowling, some bowling alleys over here where I am, they can put up bumpers, okay, for the little kids. So when the little kid throws the ball, it doesn't just go right into the gutter. The bumpers help bounce the ball down the lane, so eventually it's going to hit some pins, okay, and it makes it fun for them. Well, that's kind of what mentorship is like. You're saying, okay, these are the parameters that I want to operate under, and when you start veering towards that, the mentor has got to bump you back towards that goal. The goal of the mentor is not to angle the bumpers off in this brand new direction, because that's not the direction you want to go, right? So that's where the interview phase is so important. Okay. And sometimes you're going to get harsh realities you don't like the person who wanted to paint Smurfs. Okay. I'm not the coach for them. Okay. I can't see how they're going to achieve their goals. So maybe you need to find another coach that will, or you've got to realize, okay, maybe this isn't the plan I need. Okay. But make sure your coach understands your needs and can solve your problem, right? That, remember how you're trying to solve a problem for your client? Well, that's exactly what your coach needs to be doing. All right. But Elena, it all comes back to your own mindset first. Everything does. Comes back to your mindset and you being unwavering and not quitting to get what you want. And you can adjust those goals along the way. You never adjust them back. Okay. You don't go, well, I'm getting towards the end of the quarter and I didn't make my goal yet. So I'm just going to cut it in half because that's going to be easier. No, damn it. You've got to buckle down. You've got to get that goal and then beyond that. Okay. What I had for goals 2 years ago has been so much surpassed that I've had to keep amping them up because I keep going, holy crow, there's so much more I can still be doing. There's so much more I can still be doing. Here's a new revenue stream I haven't thought of yet. So you can expand on your goals, but never contract on your goals ever.
Yeah, it is so what you said. Expand, never contract. Even when the situation, even maybe it can feel tough, maybe some problems. Yeah, like everybody goes through some dark time, but it is exactly the time when we have to expand. Should never contract, only expand. And this is when we do breakthroughs. In those dark situations, we have to make new decisions, just boldly step into unknown, decide what you really want. And when you make that decision from the place where you want to be, and being detached from your uh, facts, from this 3D, this is how you can change your life. This is how you can change your business, your results, everything. Because if you just make decision based on your facts of the problems of the bills to pay, you are in that low energy, and your decision will be the same decisions as you did yesterday or day before, and you will stay in this frequency, which will just according to the law of attraction will attract things which just are transmitted at this energy, this channel. It is like the radio. You cannot be on AM frequency expecting music or programs from FM. That just doesn't happen,
Yeah.
right? If you are in FM, you choose that frequency, and you will only receive the programs in that diapason of that frequency. In order to listen FM, you have to flip to different channel, right?
Yep.
This is
No,
exactly how it works. So you cannot make decision from the neediness, fear, and doubt and expect something different. You, if you make that decision, if you stay in that place with low energy, you will just continue seeing the same and the same. So you have to make bold decision, find that mentor who is already there, who has that big picture for you, and just be bold and believe that it is possible. This is very important. You have to believe it because it is possible. And if you didn't think about this before, it is not because it is not possible. It is just you didn't see that picture. You didn't allow yourself to expand. That's why when we speak that you have to expand your mind and see that big picture and write it every day. Wake up in the morning, write your goal. As we spoke today about Grant Cardone, yes, how many years? Many years he's writing his goal every morning when he wakes up and before he goes to sleep. Why he does that? Just because to impress that idea into subconscious mind, because subconscious mind doesn't differentiate what is real and what is imagined. Your task is just repeat it again and again to get it impressed, because when you impress and believe, you start seeing yourself there. This is how you start changing thoughts, feelings, and actions, because you will act as the person who already is there, who believes that he can do. And when you believe that you can do, this is how you can make it real.
yeah, and I think there's two questions that you can really ask yourself. Who are the person that you want are the person that you want to become? Number one. Number two, what did you do today to get you closer to becoming that person? Right? And if your answer is nothing, well then you just that's one more day you can never get back. So no, it's and writing your goals so important, envisioning, and then you can actually go back and look at what those goals were, and you can see how far you've expanded, and what your even what your mind thought at one time was this big crazy goal is now something that you're like, I'm doing that every day. Like it just becomes, it becomes so much bigger, and you just keep going, and you start affecting more and more lives in a positive manner. And you're helping out businesses everywhere. You're helping out people in your community. You're helping your family, your extended family, people if you go to church. You just be able to expand out in all these different areas if you really get focused on who you want to be and don't stop to be until you get there, and then expand from there.
Yes, amazing, amazing conversation we had today. Thank you, Brian. I really love our conversation because it feels like we are at the same frequency. Yes, although we had different mentors, you came from Grant Cardone and I came from Bob Proctor, but
Yep.
the laws are the same. The law are the same, and the laws of success are the same. And again, if we go back to book Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill. Whoever you look now, who achieved great success, it all goes back to the same principles.
Yeah, I completely agree. And Bob Proctor, his material is still incredible. He was incredible. He was actually one of my first ever books. You Were Born Rich. He was one of my first books ever in terms of motivation. He's amazing.
Yes, thank you so much, Brian, for being amazing guest on our podcast. And I'm looking forward for our next episode. Let's speak next time about attitude to failure and attitude to success to help entrepreneurs and business owners to create business that really they love and that will make them feel fulfilled and thrive in life.
Done deal. I am in. Looking forward to it, Elena.
Yes, and those people who listening to us, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to support us so we can do more greater work and more greater episodes like this.